Hi, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Nechtel, and I'm a first grade teacher at Green Valley, and I'm really excited to be with you today. Today, we're going to be talking about something called nonfiction text features. I know that was a lot, right? Nonfiction text features. You might be wondering, I don't really know if I know what that is. Well, I'm going to break it down for you. So, nonfiction, you probably know what that means, right? Last week, you started nonfiction books. We talked about how nonfiction books are true fact stories, right? You can learn a lot from nonfiction books. You can learn about animals, you can learn about space, you can learn about sports stars, right? So, nonfiction books have real facts in them. Versus your fiction stories, which are your fantasy stories or the stories that are made up, right? So today we're going to continue to talk about nonfiction stories. However, we're going to add in something called text features. What's interesting is nonfiction books have extra things in them that you don't normally see in a fiction story. So when you open up a storybook, like say a fairy tale, like the Three Little Pigs, right? If you open up that story, it's going to have a picture of the Three Little Pigs and it's going to tell the story of the wolf huffing and puffing and blowing the house down. But that's not what happens in a nonfiction book. In a nonfiction book, they're teaching you something. So they're going to have different things in them, such as captions or a title page, or they're going to have things like bold words. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to be learning about hammerhead sharks today. So I'm going to be sharing a video with or a book with you on Epic, and we're going to read the book and also talk about some of the text features that are in that book. Okay, so here is the book that we're going to be reading. It is called Hammerhead Sharks. I'm going to click on it right here. And you'll notice right away that there is this page. This page right here has a title, Hammerhead Sharks, on it. And that is the title page of our book. It looks a little different because it's on Epic, but if you were to open up a nonfiction book in front of you, at your house, you would notice that it'd have a title page. It would have the title on it and also the author by David Dexter. So this just looks a little bit different because it's online rather than a book that's in your hands. But every nonfiction book will have something called a title page that will have the author and the title right here. And then moving on, we have our very second text feature already. Our first one was the title page, and our second one is a table of contents. So the table of contents gives you an overview as to what's in the book. So if you want to go, hammerhead sharks, I wonder what I'm learning about. Well, you can look. You're going to learn that they are big fish. And what's neat is that it's telling you you're going to learn about big fish, but it'll also tell you what page number it's on. It's going to be on page 4. So when we get to page 4, you will see big fish. And then in the ocean, on the move, on the hunt. Ooh, they must hunt. On the attack. So strong. Wow. Hammerhead sharks must be really strong if we're going to learn that they're strong. Glossary, which we'll talk about when we get there, and index is something else that we see in nonfiction books that we'll talk about when we get there. So these are all the important parts of the book that we'll be seeing. So let's get started. Big fish. So look, big fish, right? That's a heading. It tells you what this page or pages is about. So this page right here is going to be about big fish. It's kind of like the title of the page. And look, if you remember, look, it said on page 4, we were going to be learning about big fish. And if I turn to page 4, there we go. It says big fish. And you can see, I'll move my little thingy here. It says page 4. So, big fish. Hammerhead sharks are big fish with wide heads. I see some more text features. This text feature here says wide head. That is actually a label. You'll see lots of labels in nonfiction books. The label usually has an arrow that's pointing to something in the picture, and it's going to tell you more about that picture. Usually labels are short. It only gives you 1 or 2 words. So this is just telling you that he has a wide head. And I agree, he does have a very wide head. So that's a label. And then down here, this is a diagram. Sometimes nonfiction books have diagrams, and they also just give you more information about a hammerhead shark. So it says hammerhead shark size, It says great hammerhead shark, and it shows you a picture of what he looks like. And then it shows you a human diver. So if you were swimming in the water next to a hammerhead shark, it shows you how small you would be compared to the huge hammerhead shark. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd want to be stuck in the ocean swimming next to a hammerhead shark. He looks awfully big to me, and this diagram is really showing me that. Pretty wild. All right, so just a quick recap. We learned about a heading, we learned about a label, and we also talked about a diagram. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we learn. They are able to hit like a hammer. Ooh. And look, there aren't any text features on this page, just a really cool photograph. Nonfiction books always have photographs. They don't normally have drawings or paintings, they have real pictures that were taken by real people. Oh, new heading, in the ocean. This hammerhead shark swims in shallow ocean water. Look at that. Do you see how that word is in a different color? It's in yellow. Sometimes we see it in different colors, and sometimes we see it in a dark, dark black color. That's called bold. If something is in bold, it means that the word is popping out at you. Well, why would an author put a word in bold? Well, most likely because it's important. The author wants you to pay really special attention to that word. So that must mean that this word shallow is important for you to understand everything about hammerhead sharks. So when we get there at the very end, there's a glossary at the end of the book, and the glossary is kind of like a dictionary. It tells you what certain words mean, and this word's important, shallow. So that will be back there, and it will tell you what shallow is and what it means. And basically, what shallow means is that there's not a lot of water. So if you think of your swimming pool, you have a deep end where you can jump in, or a shallow end, which is you can stand in. There's less water there. So it says that this hammerhead shark swims in shallow water. So he doesn't like being way far out into the ocean. He likes being in the shallow waters. Oh, here's another diagram. Actually, it's not only a diagram, it's a map. Sometimes authors put maps in their nonfiction books. It says, where in the world do hammerhead sharks live? Then it says, great hammerhead sharks live here. So anywhere that there's yellow, that's where hammerhead sharks live. And it's a little bit hard to see, but if you look really closely, you can see some yellow parts in here and over here. So around those areas along the shoreline, that is where the hammerhead sharks like to live. It glides near the sea floor. It touches the sandy bottom. Again, we have some bold words. That means that those are important words that the author wants you to pay attention to. He wants you to know glides means to kind of swim calmly, floating through the water near the sea floor. And this is the sea floor right here, the ocean floor. Oh, we have a new heading, on the move. So we're going to be learning about how they're on the move. This hammerhead shark migrates for the summer. Oh, another important word. Migrates means that they move from one place of the ocean to another place. So they swim great distances. It leaves warm tropical waters. It travels to mild waters. So it's leaving the warm water and is going to kind of cooler water. They must not like the really hot waters. On the hunt. This hammerhead shark hunts for prey in the sand. Do you know what prey means? The author wants you to learn it. Prey means it's hunting basically for its dinner, right? He's looking for animals in the ocean that he can eat. He's hungry. It cannot see buried animals. However, it senses their presence. Here's another diagram. It says hammerhead shark prey. So these are some of the things that he likes to eat. Stingrays, fish, crab, and squid. Maybe you have seen some of these at the beach sometimes. That's what the hammerhead shark likes to eat for his dinner. It also looks for swimming animals to catch. On the attack, this hammerhead shark pins a stingray with its head. So look, he's about to eat it. What a neat photograph, being able to see that he's about to have his dinner. Then it cuts into the stingray. Its teeth are like saw blades. Wow, look at that. So it says hammerhead shark tooth size. So again, they're comparing two things. They're comparing the great hammerhead shark tooth, which is here, to a human tooth. So this is what an adult tooth would look like next to a hammerhead shark tooth. And you can see that it's almost the same size, but it's definitely pointier. So strong. So strong. So our next heading. Do you see how strong hammerhead sharks are? Would you swim with a hammerhead shark? Wow. I think he's really brave right now. I don't know if I could do that. Could you? And that's the end. But not really the end because we have a glossary. I was talking to you about this earlier. Remember, we saw all those yellow words as we went, and I told you that those are really important words that the author wanted you to learn? Well, here they all are. Remember, I said shallow was going to be back in the glossary? Well, here it is, and it's going to tell you what it means. It means it's not deep. We talked about migrates. They move from place to place as seasons change. And prey, animals that become meals for other animals. So if you're ever reading your book and you come to a word that's in yellow, like back here, pins, and you go, I'm really not sure what pins means, you can flip to the back of the book and find it here. This is in ABC order. So it goes by the alphabet. So G and then M. And then here's P, pins. Oh, that means traps. So he traps his prey in order to eat them. So the glossary is a little bit like a dictionary, so you can learn more about the words. And the last thing is your index. And again, the index is in ABC order, so you can find the words. So say you want to learn more about stingrays. Well, you can look here and it has the word stingray. So if you go to page 19, 22, or 24, you're going to learn about the stingray. If you want to learn more about prey, you would go to page 16, 18, 19, or 20. So if you're trying to find a specific thing, you can go to the index and look too. So I hope you guys really enjoy learning about text features. There's so many cool things that nonfiction books have in them that regular fiction books don't. So, in a moment, you're going to read another shark book on your own, and then you are going to see if you can find some of the text features. Can you find the heading? Can you find the title page? Can you find some labels? I bet you can. Thank you so much for watching.